And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Oh, hi. Okay, guess we should talk about something. Kind of tough to be put on the spot. Not sure what to say. But I know what I'm definitely not talking about. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save big!
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
NBA playoff betting secrets from offshoreinsiders.com, the place to go for your winning picks. Now, you've probably heard about the zig-zag theory. What the zig-zag theory basically says is bet on the same series playoff losing team to cover the next game. So whatever team, say, loses game one straight up will likely cover game two. That is a theory. The team that loses game three will likely cover game four. Now, the result, as of April 19, 2017, a very modest 51.8% at 499, 464, and 12. But does that mean that it's invalid, that it is a little bit better than a coin flip, but certainly not much better than that? Well, Joe Duffy's Picks certainly has the answer. Your winningest handicapper of all time. We have come up, after talking to some sharps and doing some experimenting, going with our computer databases and researching the bounce back theory. It is the great-looking stepsister of the zigzag theory. Now, we have quite a few systems. There's frankly not one system where the zigzag is a very basic system, but the systems that we found out, the ones that win, are based on a couple premises. The harder they fall, the bigger the bounce. Now, what do we mean by that? The bigger the blowout, the more likely they are to bounce back. Now, this refers to mostly straight up losses. So if a team loses by double digits, they are more likely to actually bounce back spread-wise, at least anyway. But in some cases, also the margin of spread victory. So say a big favorite, a 8 or 9 or 10 point favorite, loses a game by only 3 or 4 straight up. They are also likely to bounce back, but it is based, it's more effective, and most of our systems have to do with straight up loss, but also do not overlook the margin of cover. Home favorites in these bounce back situations are especially good. The better the team is, more likely they are to bounce back. That's probably no surprise there. And we do that on winning percentage. But we also have some angles that have to do with the difference in record, the difference in winning percentage that are also effective. We don't just have one or two bounce back theories. We have several. Now, admittedly, a lot of these are overlapping. So when our computer says, hey, this game, these systems apply, often we will see 5 or 6 great systems, but quite a few overlapping games. So Joe Duffy's Picks at offshoreinsiders.com is where you are going to get those winners. But the big question, why does it work? Couple things. If you were to talk to, say, 100 of the sharpest people in the world, regardless of what side of the table they're on, let's say they're odds makers, maybe they're professional gamblers, more importantly, professional handicappers, and there is a difference, although many of us are both, but you talk to bookmakers, etc. If there's one theory that an overwhelming majority of us agree, it's kind of a more generic theory. It really applies certainly in football as well, but the public overreacts to the last game. And this is more true in the NBA, certainly when it comes to the playoffs, than any other time. So let's say, whatever, you pick the teams. We'll say the LA Lakers are playing the New York Knicks. That would be the NBA Finals, of course, it were the playoffs, but whatever the case would be. And the Lakers completely blow them out. Well, too often Johnny Q. Public says, I watched that game the other night. The Knicks are no match. They just cannot stop the Lakers. Lakers, I love them. They're going to blow them out. So the public is going to overreact. It's going to cause an inflated line. But remember, teams that get blown out are the ones that can make the biggest adjustments. There's almost an intrinsic element of surprise. If a team played poorly last game, they're the ones that are going to make the adjustments. Why, if a team played well, there's a certain, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So there's really an intrinsic advantage where the team coming off of the loss really knows more to expect, but they're the ones that are going to shake it up. But also keep in mind, look, teams that are not adept at bouncing back, they're watching. They're not even in the postseason. They didn't make the playoffs. So if a team made the postseason, even with the expanded playoffs, for the most part, they've had some success being able to respond to adversity. So it's really no surprise that these bounce backs, and in a small sense where the zigzag still has had moderate success, you wouldn't go broke, you're not going to make any money, but at 51.8%, that's right at the break-even point. But that is why certainly the bounce back has more than held up. And we actually, by the way, we've also stored a couple of kind of anti-zigzags. We found the situations where teams that are coming off of a loss actually do not cover. And hint, it would be really the opposite of what we said, when a team is coming off a very close victory, a close loss, and they weren't really big favorites in the last game. It's not quite as effective on the road, but there are definitely quite a few bounce back systems that support the road team in a bounce back situation. But I will tell you, we have some pretty good systems that say that teams that have momentum actually will especially cover on the road. That's why you want to buy Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com to find not only the rules, but very much the exceptions to the rule. So the place to go is always offshoreinsiders.com for your sports betting. Please take a look at the top of the page where we have our recommended sports books. We do have quite a few sports books. Well, not actually quite a few. A select number of sports books that pay on time. Most definitely should be part of your line shopping. They give big sign-up bonuses. So get everything you want. All the winning picks, winning information, also links to where you can get free picks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Offshore Insiders. Or for those of you who are listening to us on our podcast, actually our podcast gets more listens and more exposure than it does on YouTube. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure you subscribe. Please give us a positive review. If you're listening to us on Stitcher, TuneIn, subscribe on all those. I don't think you can actually give us a review on TuneIn, but at Stitcher, please give us a positive review. Retweet us. Give us a like if you're listening to this on YouTube. The experts tell us that the search engines recognize those likes as a vote of confidence, and that will help us out. So you help us out, and we'll continue to give you the free information as well as the best premium picks at offshoreinsiders.com.
Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July to December 2020. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.